Hey guys, back for another week. So pretty close last week to getting the pick 5 one leg out. It's tough today. I'm playing Aqueduct today. I'm not even sure if I'm going to play a pick 5. I'll give you the horses that I like in that sequence, but I think it would take a lot of money to try to get it today. It's just looking that wide open, so that could be a good thing. You know, if you can find a key along the way, it would make a big difference. I couldn't. Maybe in the last race I can make a case for one, but I just think it's that wide open, so it should pay pretty well. It's great to see the weather still holding out. There's been some great grass racing at Aqueduct lately, so let's get into it, shall we? So race number 6, kicking off the pick 5, the late pick 5. You can see the horses I like here prominently positioned, the 2, the 3, the 8. And I'm including the 5 maybe a little bit underneath. So they're 2-year-olds dashing 6 furlongs. The 2 temperamental, I'm kind of gravitating towards first-time starters in here. None of the starters I find all that exciting. Temperamental, Jeremiah Englehart, not really one who comes to New York and takes things by storm. New York Aqueduct does extremely well at Finger Lakes, obviously. This horse has been working well enough, though, and they paid enough for her as a 2-year-old in training, so there could be something there. The big thing here is the attraction of Irad Ortiz. He's winning a ton of races. He wants to win this title. I'm not overlooking Irad anytime he's on a horse, so the 2 temperamental definitely getting on the ticket. The 3 Yokas, similar reasons. Bill Mott, Jose Ortiz, the connections are enough to include her. Another one that sold for a fairly stout price as a 2-year-old in training. There's some pedigree there that's okay. There's some works that are okay. These works obviously a little quicker than the 2 temperamental, but they're both going on my ticket. Again, not super impressed with the starters. I have to include the 5 Can't Hurry Love because it is Christophe Clement. Pretty much that's the only reason. It's not like she's done a lot of running, but she has been a runner-up on a couple of occasions, so maybe you forgive her. Public felt she should win last time out. She went down to defeat. That's kind of been the theme of her. She's a little bit one of those who regresses in the stretch. It's not a good thing. There's no reason to think she won't do it today. She was a little wide last time out, but you know, she's one of those. I can't let her beat me because she seems to be, at least of the ones who are experienced, the most logical. The other first-time starter I'll include is the 8-horse Family Band. Family Band, Steve Asmussen's horses. You know, he fired poor Ricardo Santana, but you know what? Ricky won a lot of money with him, so what are you going to do? Lescano's not going to beat me in another pick 5. Let's just put it that way. So that's probably most of the reason why Family Band gets a spot on my ticket. Again, going with the first-time starters most prominently. The only starter I'm including is the 5-horse Can't Hurry Love, and that's kind of an under position. Race number 7, 6 furlongs on the grass, a nice non-2 allowance for the fillies. This race will go, so I've got 4 horses I've keyed in on here. The 5 and the 11 are my strongest positions. The 3 and the 6 will be backups. Right away, I'm leaving off this Christophe Clement horse. It's not that I don't like her, but the fact that Irad defected and went elsewhere was enough to make me say, you know what, I can't put them all in. I'm taking a stance against Princess Fausia today. I know she's won 3 races in a row, and that's exactly why I'm against her. Very aggressive schedule from Linda. This 4-year-old mare, she had the break, so that was great. Ran her on the 3rd, the 14th, and then back on the 22nd. She's now had spacing between the last 2 races. For that reason, I'm thinking, you know what, today's a good day to try to beat her. Could she win? Yep, but I'm not playing her. Can't take them all. I took a stand. The 5-horse Royal Address, Neil Drysdale. Limited horses starting in New York. They've been okay. This one to me looks kind of well meant. I like the last start. We get Lescano aboard today again. Not going to leave these horses out. The 6-horse Amalfi Princess, one I like as a bit of a longer priced horse. Irad riding for the first time. She should be every bit of the 10-1. There's nothing here that suggests that she's ready to have a big reversal in form. But this race here was pretty good. From an outside post position, I thought last time from the inside, the rail, it did her no favors. I thought there was enough going on in this race that it warranted me to include her as a bit of a longer price horse. I don't want to leave her out. And the 11-horse Stolen Holiday, the other one that I was looking at, Stolen Holiday has that outside. That's going to help. She's got that kind of running style that she can be sitting somewhat close up. Javier's been doing okay. Obviously won with this one. It's a big step up when you go from the non-1 into the non-2. Sometimes you find stakes-faced horses. There's a couple in here, nothing too salty. So those are the ones that I'll include there in race number 7. It's one of those races. The 5 and the 11, fairly bullish on the Drysdale horse, the 5. But I'm not going to leave the 11 out of a top position and back that up with the 3 and the 6. Race number 8, a mile and 16th on the grass, a 50 starter. Not getting too cute in here. I like the 3 and the 12. The 3 Girl Dad probably gets overlooked a little bit. And then I will take a peek at the 10 as well as a double-digit horse. But this race to me, it's either just skinny it down to that or go way wider. Public information moving up off the claim, not impossible. Mike Maker's been obviously doing extremely well as he's had just like a real streaky kind of year. When those horses get hot, he really, really gets hot. The 3 Girl Dad, good rally last time out. It's not that I've been against George Weaver this year. I didn't like his horses in Saratoga. I mentioned that early on in the meet, and it proved out to be true. I thought he would be a little bit better now that they were back at Aqueduct. Haven't seen the results yet with no wins. But this horse did everything but win last time. He was close. Manny Franco getting aboard today. He rode Girl Dad before, way back a year ago. Had this horse involved in the race. For that reason, the fact that he has tactical speed is the reason that I'll include him. I looked at Brazilian Air for a little bit, of course, because it's a rad riding again for Linda. Won with this horse back here in the maiden, but he just hasn't been able to take that next step up. Maybe coming with some freshness will be a good thing. But freshness in Linda, I actually like when she's kind of throwing her horses in with no rest. So I'll just sit on the sidelines with that one. It could be a mistake. The 10, as I mentioned, a bit of a longer price. I'll probably include him in some exactas is what I'll end up doing with him. He's coming from Laurel. The races haven't been bad. I think he fits. I think it's the distance more than anything that I liked with American Doro, and kind of an unknown entity as he faces these new years. There's no world beaters in here, right? So like let's face it. So he shouldn't be too far back at a big price. And the 12 horse High Tide for Carlos Martin. Lescano is going to have to use some magic to try to get this horse the trip that he is going to need. He really doesn't have a lot of speed. So that may work to his advantage. It might not. I'm not seeing a ton of pace in this race, so he may just be left with too much to do. This horse should be somewhat forwardly placed. I'm hoping American Doro doesn't get too far back. That's why I included him. Other than that, though, I mean, you're not looking at, Torres del Paine. I don't know what kind of fractions he's going to try to set out in front. Silvera's not scared to send them out there. Restored Order is the only other one that might be able to prompt the pace. So Brazilian Air, off the freshness, might be sitting close. We'll see. So anyways, that's where I'm going there. The 3, the 12, and the 10. I'm probably way too skinny in this race because it is fairly wide open. Race number 9, the 1, 6, and 5 are the ones that I think I wanted to include. It's the Key Sense. Miss Alacrity. Wesley Ward ran her against the boys last time. She was okay, undefeated before that start. Typical Wesley Ward, run them once every 6 months. When you have owners that'll put up with it, why not, right? Chad Brown's famous for that too. She had a bit of a trip last time out, so Johnny V on the inside. She's got some speed. All he's got to do is sit up on her. I mean, she went a 21 on the turf. She went twice. Yeah, just sit up on her and go. Don't fool around. The 5 and the 6, the other two I like. The 5, Cupid's Heart, I put underneath. This maiden breaking win. The speed figure came back so strong. I'm a little suspicious of this. I'm not sure that this race was as representative as a 71 should be. But she was the favorite in that start too, so that meant something to me. The 6 horse Classy Edition, Irad for Todd. 2 very easy wins. She's a stakes winner. She probably makes the most sense at the skinniest price. Doubt she'll be 9 to 5. Probably more like 6 to 5, 7 to 5. It's Todd Pletcher. But those two, I think the 1 and the 6, and just throwing in the 5 just in case she is that great. I mean, the fact she was the favorite and the speed figure came back strong makes me somewhat curious. The last race, 6 furlongs on the grass, maiden 40,000 claimers. I've got a horse like way underneath in this position here, Boom Boom Kaboom. Thanks, Formulator. He even tells me who they are. The 2 Partners Hope is going to be, I mean, if I was looking to skinny my ticket way down, maybe I would key on that horse. Maybe I'd key on Classy Edition in the race before, but I think the 2 Partners Hope. I hate this, though. I hate when they have multiple starts. I mean, he's already been in a couple different barns. Nobody can win with this horse. Why will today be any different? I don't know. We'll see. He came close with Castellano before, so maybe that familiarity will help. Danny Gargan just starting like no horses. He's got nothing running right now. He'll obviously want to capitalize on a horse like this. The 6 My Boy Colton, another consideration. Jimmy Jerkins. This horse has speed, but he's also got 0 finish. So hopeful that the turn back after 2 routes on grass, that the turn back to a sprint is going to help. It is not a trainer move whatsoever. I'm hoping it's a horse move. I'm not putting the saddle on Jimmy. I'm putting the saddle on My Boy Colton. I'm hoping that that is going to be enough to get this horse to just finally hang on. But when they get that quit in them, it just seems to be, it doesn't matter what the distance is, they just don't have what it takes. They don't have that final punch. The 9 Boom Boom Kaboom, 18 starts, still a maiden. Speed figures are solid enough to be competitive here. Speaking of no desire to win, Eric Cantonsell just about won with him here. He's ridden him multiple times. There's nothing really strong in this field. And if he is 8-1, he's worth an include. But you just gotta be so suspicious of those horses. Once they've figured out, like some horses just don't win. It's just the way it is. They don't know that they're supposed to win. They're happy sitting in amongst horses. So when you start getting 0 for 10, 0 for 12, 0 for 10 is about my break point. Of getting really fussy about maidens unless they find major class relief. So Boom Boom Kaboom, it was one that I'm just mentioning. I think trifecta horse. He's one of those seconds and thirds for sure. That's it for me. I'll wrap this up. It's getting long. So getting into, for all my American friends, happy Thanksgiving this week. Super excited. Football all day. Thursday, the best day of the year, quite possibly. Enjoy your Sunday and we'll see you next week.